Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Legacy. This is Lexi, your expert in evolution, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host.
Hey, it's Jasmine, your divine diva.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kia, your favorite inspirationalist.
Well, I think it's still official to say Happy New Year. What do y'all think? I don't know.
It is only 15 days.
Yeah, I'm still saying Happy New
Year. Has your happy gone?
No, I'm just, when do people say, is it like all through January?
I ain't been saying it at work no more.
Right. You mean people come in like, Happy New Year. It's March.
I think it stopped after day
January.
2 or 3. You be like, don't come in here saying Happy New Year's in January the 5th.
Seen you the first
couple
week.
of days.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
and
okay.
It is kind of like, when does it end?
When does it end? When does it end? So, speaking of when does it end?
Oh, that's a good question.
I got a girl, did you know?
What's your girl, did you know?
Girl, did you know?
What?
That your president, somebody's president, served the championship team Clemson. McDonald's.
It was McDonald's. It was Burger King or Wendy's. It was like 3 of them. He was into the whole fast food thing.
In the history of all time. Sean, did you know that?
You want to know why? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about another reason why they had to get fast food, because it's shut down.
Yes. So that's we're going to talk about that later.
That's why they got
it. Bring it in.
Ain't nobody cooking.
All right, bring it in. Let me get out my live.
So you know how when a team wins a championship, whether it's the Super Bowl or even for some of the college students, the big to-do is an invitation to the White House.
White House, right.
Okay, so Clemson actually was one of the championship teams that decided to take him up on the offer to go.
Correct.
Okay.
They come to the White House, and what are they introduced to for their meal for the evening? McDonald's.
It was 3 of them though. It was McDonald's. I believe it was Wendy's.
And I think and
it was
Burger
like King. I think it was like 3 fast food. I was like, something is because I like it and I know you. No, just say because you ain't got no cooks because everybody don't have no job.
So everybody was saying.
Disrespectful.
Everybody was saying. So somebody put up an image on Instagram of him as the Hamburglar.
Wait, did they eat it? How was the fries?
They probably cold.
Because you know the fries, if they ain't fresh out, they
I don't want them.
I would have been even more insulted. Really? You ain't got no hot fries?
If you saw their faces, the players, they was like...
You don't got no nuggets fresh out?
My mama could have got me this, so I didn't have to come up here to get...
And then I took a little offense.
You got me a 4 for 4? You got me a 4 for 4?
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that.
It was a lot of burgers.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Wow. No, but seriously, that's
what we're at today. Because when is it going to end? And I know we're going to talk more about it, but...
Because even foolishness gains attention.
Yeah, that's what gains attention.
And that's what he's really, really good at. Is those type of shenanigans, whether he offends people or not, it gains him attention. So he is an attention whore, and he is in a position of power where he has abused it. And don't mind people fighting up against him when he does abuse it. I mean, that's just his life, you know? I don't expect anything different. They lucky they got a meal.
Yeah, hello?
I was shocked they got that.
Like, I wouldn't even step foot up in his place, but...
Because he had people. I definitely wouldn't have attended. And I think that was the other part, too, is they had some people that didn't want to attend.
Right.
But I thought it was very interesting that the celebratory dinner, that they came all the way, because Clemson is in, I think, North or South Carolina? But let me double check where it is. But it's in the South. I know that. And they came all the way up to Washington, D.C.
to get fast food.
So, nonetheless, that's where we're at.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who did not know, go read up on it. The Root always has some good information. That's where I get a lot of my information. They're Black owned, so
Okay.
So they always have some good content. So today, though, I want to talk to you ladies about doing business as DBA. So doing business as a friend, a family member, as a significant other. When you go into business with your persons that are familiar to you. So think about that, because I got a few I'm just going to list, but I'm on Lifehack, and it lists 15 reasons why you should not start a business with friends.
Oh, this is good.
And Kia, this kind of segues a little from what we talked about the last podcast with collaboration, because I think the first go-to that you have is the people closest to you, like how we did.
Yeah.
But, I think we've been very successful in coming together, collaborating, and pushing our agenda, and intentional about it.
You better be
with everybody. But here's some reasons why they say
you shouldn't.
You should not, in big capital NOT. Friendship, number one, friendship does not translate into business compatibility.
That's true.
That's so true.
Because just because we friends don't mean we should work together.
And it doesn't.
I mean, some people do be like, well, we're friends. I think we should be able to, like, I trust this person. We get along together. But that's because y'all haven't gotten along in a business setting.
Way.
Right. But I think that's even when you haven't, your business savvy hasn't really kicked in. Because I don't do business with people just because we friends. I personally don't. Even starting out, it had to be something about you that I could clearly say, this is why I want you on my team. Because Jazz, me and you have worked with each other, but it was like, okay, this is what I see in her. This is what I know she's good at and what she can do, and how we can work together. Each other.
Correct.
Like, not just because we're family.
Yeah.
That to me don't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense either.
And it's not well thought out. Remember, we talked about collaboration. When we talked about collaborating, we said the big thing you got to do is think things through.
You have
That was like number one.
That was the first. That was like their only thought was, we're family.
We're family.
Let's work together.
I love you.
We're friends.
Right.
Let's do business together.
Number two.
Okay.
Friends and family rarely plan for worst case scenarios.
Exactly. I can believe that.
No, we're family. We're not going to have any run-ins.
We won't have any issues.
It's going to work out.
It's us together.
What do you mean?
We're in this
we
together.
grew up together.
What?
We broke bread together.
Those be the worst ones.
Number
you stealing my bread.
eating it, burning it.
You hiding the bread from
bread.
You sharing
You
it.
sharing the bread, covered it. No, God.
Right.
You trying to keep the bread to yourself.
What bread?
That's
Number three, it can be difficult to create clearly defined business roles.
So true.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
So it's hard when you're
true.
friends and you're trying to, especially if, your friend maybe is more of a, and I'm just using these, maybe more of a doer. They execute well. Very, very well. And one thing you do is kind of manage well.
Yeah.
That person who does well may not think too kindly of their friend.
Trying to boss me around. Now you want to boss me around?
No, I'm just
we
saying.
Supposed to be partners.
You're really good at cooking, though. That's why.
Right. It was actually a compliment.
Right. You're. Okay.
This is what you're good in. You should stay in your lane. It's not going to work.
Lanes don't happen. Number 4, your business goals may differ from those of your partner. And I thought this one was interesting because I don't think it's and I guess it depends. Because it may not necessarily be a reason not to.
Correct.
But what the article goes into is talking about if there's a huge gap in expectations.
Right.
So talk about that. What do y'all think?
That is going to cause conflict because really then you have two people going in two different directions. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going one way, you're going another way. So we'll never meet in the middle to accomplish any objective except for confusion.
Yeah.
That'll be the objective.
And that's the objective. That's the common goal.
Confusion.
The only thing we do well.
We're going two different ways, but that goes to that point where you said like communication is so important.
Yeah. So important.
You got to be okay with even if we don't see eye to eye, this may not be a project that we should collaborate on. Or how do we get to a
how
place
do you get past when we can collaborate on it?
Like,
because you got to be able to communicate. We got to talk it out.
Can we work it out?
Can we work it out and not allow egos or get in the way of things? Or
personal
it's got to be
agendas.
something.
Yep.
You got to have a bigger goal. You both got to want it.
The two sisters, they started kind of the curl. What's the two sisters?
Miss Jessie?
Yeah.
Miss Jessie.
Was it Miss Jessie?
Yeah.
I remember on YouTube they talked about the story of them growing up and then how they went separate, and I just couldn't understand. I'm like,
what happened?
Sisters.
Yeah.
And then one sister committed suicide.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
I forgot about that.
And the one sister who committed suicide, I don't think she married this guy, but she ended up linking up with this guy. She was giving him money, and they had different visions about where they saw the business going.
Correct.
But again, you have sisters. They slept together. They grew up together. They hustled together.
Came from the same
wound.
For them to be so divided like that, it's like, how does that happen?
Not communicating.
Not
but not
communicating.
having the same
And
vision.
personal
and
agendas.
personal
That's what
agendas.
I think.
And then when you have somebody else coming in and they're like,
that was
and it's
silly.
like, I'm
And the other
dingling, and it's
guy-
like, well, no, your sister doing this,
that's
and your
so
sister.
true.
Yeah.
Well,
I
then
think
you
it
got
was
your,
some
you may
parties.
have
I
your
think it
mate
was
in your
some of
ear, and
that.
it's like, and now, but it's
I
be
think
like,
it was
there
some
should be
of that.
nobody that should even be able to make you even cock your eye at your sister's side.
Especially when there's nothing legit
yeah.
to be concerned about.
Correct.
And you
So
should
true.
be able to know that and have a conversation.
And have a
which is a
I
good,
understand that.
which the funny part about it is number 5 was the price of failure is far too high. Because when failure happens, you got lives lost,
money lost,
mortgages lost,
businesses failing, families broken, relationships.
Because relationships is falling apart when you,
And 50% of all small businesses fail during their first 24 months.
I was going to say first 24 hours. And but
really, the first 24 hours.
But really,
I'm done.
Really, in fact, they really have, because there's a lot of stuff that is not taking place in the beginning that causes the failure within the 24-month period.
Talk about it.
It was evident. It was apparent if you really sat down with somebody.
It was evident in the first 24 minutes.
It was evident before you said, okay, let's
Had you sat down maybe with someone who had knowledge or expertise or did more research in 24 hours, you may have found that this was not
in 24 minutes, this wasn't the proper game plan.
Going on girls' trips together.
I ain't gonna get with her.
Let's just keep taking girls' trips. Girl trip,
photos.
You free?
Right.
Let's just go out. Lunch. Let's just go out.
What about
together.
a nice yoga?
Let's just get our bodies back.
Okay, so you know what? That brings up a good question for you guys. I want to ask. I mean, I'm thinking my perspective on it, but we are 24 months into our initiative.
We are.
Just over there. Woo!
Yes.
Yes.
Huge.
We had good planning within 24 seconds, 24 minutes, and 24 hours.
Yeah. We did.
24 days.
What's that song? 645,000
minutes and 24 minutes.
Go look it up.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. But I'm curious, like, what do you think are some of the things for you that helped you keep pushing through, that got us to this 24 months? Because now we've beat the odds.
We've beat the odds.
We beat the odds. At least that odd.
The goal of us being able to help people or bring our community together, to see women empower, even men, I think that's what always keep me pushing, is that our end goal is so much bigger than us.
One more time, Jazz. What do you think got us to this 24-month part in doing business together?
The goal that we have, that we know that it's not about us, and that our end result is that we want to bring our culture together, we want to empower our women, we want to empower our men, we want to empower the youth. And I think that we know that that's bigger than us, that keeps us going, that keeps us motivated. I mean, I can only imagine what we're going to do, or what we're going to bring to the table for the future. I have so many different ideas for us, and we're just getting our feet wet. To me, I feel like we're just getting it wet.
And we're just like really getting started.
What about you, kid?
We're still in our 24 hours.
We're still in our 24 hours.
24,
yeah. Even though it's beyond 24 months, I feel like we're still within that 24-hour period.
We are still new.
Once we get to 48 hours, it's going to be something crazy.
We're toddlers now.
Y'all better get on board. So I would say one thing what Jazz was saying was that our vision for each other and our vision for people as a whole, I think we saw that, and we got into an agreement in the beginning about what it was that we wanted to do.
Yes.
So when we always have that, that's always our starting point, and I think that's always our ending point, right?
Yes.
The journey in between we can deal with, because we know where we started, we know why we started, and we know where it is that we're going. And I think for me, like I said before in our last video, I am one who, I like working alone. So for me, this was an opportunity to work with other people outside of work, consciously get into agreement with other people, and other people not just match my vision, but even had a different way of hustling.
Yeah.
Had a different skill set, had a similar but different mindset. It was like, and Lex, we always talk about this too, iron sharpens iron.
Listen.
So it was like, if you going to get a new net worth, you got to get a new network.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you shouldn't be the smartest person in the room. And that's how I think in this group, we all bring something to the table. And it's amazing because sometimes it's just unsaid with us. Like, it just kind of...
It just dumps in. It just be like flowing.
It flows. It does flow.
It's a twine, y'all. It's almost like good.
It's like really one dope person.
Yeah. Make a love. I'm telling you.
We like Transformers.
Like the
when
Trinity.
we all get together.
Seriously. It just...
I love it.